We can now bring in France 24's Oliver Farry from our International Affairs Desk. Oliver, how much do we know about this attack?
Well, we do not know the identity of the perpetrator, but Tunisia's Ministry of Defence said that he was a member of the country's maritime guard. He killed a fellow policeman before taking his ammunition and heading to the El Khriba synagogue, which is Tunisia's oldest Jewish temple, and indeed is one of the world's oldest as well, a temple having been there for over 2,000 years on the same site. He shot dead 4 people, 2 civilians and 2 members of the security forces. This is later at the temple. A further 5 were wounded in a shootout before the gunman was killed. Now, 2 of those were Jewish pilgrims there for the annual Lag BaOmer pilgrimage, which takes place on the 33rd day of Passover. One was a 46-year-old Frenchman who had dual Tunisian nationality, a kosher butcher from Marseille by the name of Benjamin Haddad, and his cousin, who is 30 years old, Avi al-Haddad, a jeweller, originally from Djerba, but now living in Israel. The attack sparked panic among those in attendance. About 5,000 Jewish pilgrims were there, many of them having come from overseas. Some reported a state of confusion because they probably did expect, given that there was a security presence, that they were safe. No doubt the fact that the perpetrator was uniformed and he was a policeman caught the guards short there. It's not yet known if the motive for the attack is anti-Semitism or terrorism, but given the target and also given the timing on a major Jewish festival, it's quite likely there was an anti-Semitic nature to the shooting.
And Oliver, this is not the first time a synagogue has come under attack.
Yes, in fact, this particular synagogue, El Khriga, has been attacked twice. The first was in October 1985 during another religious festival, the Simchat Torah, and the perpetrator then was also a policeman. He killed 3 worshippers at the time. One of the dead was a 5-year-old boy, a nephew of René Trabelsi, who later became Tunisia's tourism minister, and he was himself present at the synagogue during last night's attack as well. A further attack was in 2002 in April when 21 people, including 14 German tourists, were killed when a truck exploded outside the synagogue. Responsibility for that attack was claimed by Al-Qaeda, and it was later found to have been planned by Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who was named as one of the chief architects of the September 11th attack 7 months before that. The synagogue, being Tunisia's oldest, is a temple that is very much central to the country's Jewish community. That has greatly diminished over the past 70 years. There used to be about 100,000, but many of them have immigrated to France or Israel since then. There's now about 1,500, most of whom are located or based in Djerba itself. Now, anti-Semitism in Tunisia is not quite as widespread as in other parts of the Arab world, but the community, being small, is quite vulnerable at the same time. Tunisia does not have diplomatic relations with Israel. Israeli tour groups are allowed to enter the country for pilgrimages such as Lag BaOmer. Tunisia has been hit badly by terrorist attacks in recent years. In 2015, there were separate jihadist attacks on the Bardo National Museum in Tunis and a hotel in the coastal city of Sousse. They targeted both tourists, foreign tourists and Tunisians. And that has badly affected Tunisia's tourism sector, which the country greatly depends on. The pandemic has delivered another blow. Things had seemed to have improved over the past year or so, but this is probably going to make things look difficult again, especially with the summer season coming.
Just kicking off. Indeed. Oliver, thank you very much for that. Oliver Farry there.